Did you change the title?
About to. Alright, we're live.
Good evening, everybody. This is Lady Rage for gaming as usual. How's everybody doing tonight?
And this is Tynes I Notch, and I'm live. How are you tonight, Lady Rage?
I'm fine, thank you.
Alright, so as you guys can notice, I rearranged my lighting situation, um, which unfortunately made me have to go back into my cam settings here on XSplit. So I gotta resize some things while I'm streaming, and it also looks like my background is clear now, so I worked on that a little bit today. Um, well, welcome you all to tonight's show. I'll be playing a little bit of Black Ops 2. Um, me and Lay Rage discuss with you guys the recap of E3, because I guess it's officially over now, even though the after party's going on, stuff like that. The E3 is officially over. We're going to talk about things that happened today and things that happened over the past few days to during the E3 event, just to sort of recap and cover new things that we weren't able to discuss in the previous shows because we ran out of time or whatnot. First and foremost, I want to cover um, oh, GameSpot and their live cam. Myself and Lady Rage were both watching today, and these guys are they're fun to watch, especially the live floor cam where the guy's walking around with the camera and stuff. In my opinion, the guy wasn't that professional. However, if you were watching during the hour that, well, I was watching all day, but during the hour that it happened in, you got to see behind the scenes look of the new PlayStation and games that um, some are only for the PlayStation 4. A couple of them weren't, but there was some that were just for PlayStation 4 that weren't announced as being exclusive to the PlayStation 4, and they weren't supposed to be announced. And the guy that was doing the floor cam for GameSpot had got in there and then was kicked out after an hour. And the guy that was in charge of the PlayStation 4 area that he was in um, pretty much got onto him and said, "No, we ain't supposed to be doing any live feeds from inside this room. This is supposed to be you come in, you sign something, you play the games, and then you could talk about them at a later date." So it was like a non-disclosure agreement that these guys live feed. Like, how many games did he show? Like 8 or 9, and then there was several more that were around the room. So there's a lot more exclusives that they ain't telling us about that were in that room. I'm sure Xbox, Microsoft, Nintendo, Ouya, all those have their same. Well, Ouya doesn't obviously, but Nintendo and Microsoft definitely probably have the same type of thing, a room set up with exclusive games that no one's talking about yet, or put a list. But it was just amazing that GameSpot got in there and was in there for an hour and then getting kicked out. Um, I'm not. We're not gonna give you the titles. You had to watch it in order to see it. Because for one, I don't want to get in trouble. I know Lady Rage doesn't, and we don't want the gaming as usual shut down because we mentioned some names that weren't supposed to be mentioned. But I think the GameSpot guy. I don't know if you would agree with me, Lady Rage, but to me, even when he was asking questions, not the fact that he was in that room, but when he was asking questions, he didn't seem professional to me. And I'm wondering where these guys find, where GameSpot finds these people that walk around and video for them.
No, he didn't seem professional at all. For one, if that was me going around asking people, I would have more than a different type of mic hooked up to my video camera instead of expecting people to be able to hear what's being said by somebody who's standing in front of me a couple of feet away.
And it was like every other word was and he was constantly checking his phone while doing these interviews. And to me, that's unprofessional. I don't give a bleep if it is my boss texting me or command texting me, asking me a question while I'm interviewing someone. I'll wait
And
until after the interview to check it.
I have to, I do understand the phone for the simple fact, there was a spot where people who were watching could ask questions. So whenever we typed in, I think it's when he's got to check his phone to see what the questions were.
Yeah, because there was a couple times he said that he was checking the online Twitch feed for questions, and then there was other times he said, "Well, sorry, it was my boss, or it was the headquarters messaging me trying to find out where I'm at and stuff." And I'm like, "Sure, go ahead and say that." And he didn't want to get on the camera. I will say that if you guys were watching, what was, I don't want to say the name of the game, but there was one game back there that they showed, and me and Lay Rage fell in love with. I'll give you a clue. It's got little peoples that you can spawn onto the screen. You can kick them around. You can punch them. You can vacuum them up. It looked cool. Granted, it's not a I'm a gamer type game. It's a family oriented game, but it looked cool as crap.
I tell you, when I get grandkids, it would be the game that I would go out to buy for my grandchildren, most definitely.
I mean, and it wasn't like a Mario type game either. Usually, when I mention kids games, people think, "Oh, well, you must be talking about like a Mario or a Mario knockoff." No, this was pretty funny. And the best way to describe it is like filling a room full of balloons and letting kids just run in it and kick them around. Except
Yeah.
for the balloons aren't actually on the floor; they're on the TV screen.
Thank God you don't have to clean it up.
Yeah, I know, right? So that's all I want to talk about for the inside scoop that GameSpot got on the PlayStation 4. Pretty sure they're going to be in trouble, or at least that one guy is. Maybe the
Almost definitely.
company, maybe GameSpot won't look at him as being in trouble, but I guarantee you, GameSpot will probably get fined, or the Sony Entertainment will go after them, or go after the guy individually for going back there and live feed. So on top of that, I want to talk a little bit about Sony raises its sales forecast for PlayStation 4. If you've been watching Wall Street Journal and Wall Street the past couple of days, you've noticed every day, including today, the Sony stocks have just been bam, 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 constantly rising. And the same can't be said for Nintendo or um, Microsoft. However, Nintendo's stocks did raise the first couple of days, but they sort of steadied out. Sony's stocks went through the roof. Um, so today, um, the Wall Street Journal had put out Sony Corp is raising internal sales projections for the forecast forthcoming PlayStation 4 video game console amid positive signs about demand for the device. Um, Unfortunately, for those that didn't pre-order early, the Sony Corporation CEO Andrew House admitted that demand may well outstrip supply. Um, GameStop also said the same thing, that they're getting demanded for the pre-orders, to where they several of their stores have sold out of the pre-orders. Um, so PlayStation 4 is big on everyone's I want list right now. They're trying to get as many pre-orders, or they're trying to get as many consoles up for pre-order as possible. But like I said, GameStop has had several stores already sell out of the pre-ordered PlayStation 4s. Sony, they're saying now that demand may well outstrip supply. So if you haven't pre-ordered yet and you're wanting the PlayStation 4, your best bet is to go out there and get it. Um, and you can pre-order it from Amazon and places like that. I usually prefer going to a local store than going through Amazon for stuff like this, especially pre-orders. But I wouldn't pre-order it. I'm waiting 6 months to a year to buy any of them. Um, Elder Scroll Online today had a little story. We've been talking about Elder Scroll Online, and I'm a big fan of Bethesda and Elder Scrolls series. Great series of games, great series of books, and when they announced Elder Scroll Online, I bet you I was one of the first 50 people to sign up for the beta, and I've actually signed up on 14 different accounts. So, um, and I will
You're not
be.
greedy, are you?
What's that?
You're not greedy there, are you?
Nah, I just want a chance, and I ain't got in yet. So, um, but they have revealed that you'll be um, that there are going to be three alliances in the online Elder Scroll game. That's right, I said three. They said once you reach level 50 and have completed all the content for one alliance, and that once you've done all that, you can start over again with one of the remaining two alliances, but the content that you'll be going through is all scaled up to level 50, which we've seen games in the past, I want to say the past 2 years, that has really worked on what they're calling the scaling system, where if you're level 50 or higher, and you go back to level 10 area, everything gets scaled up to you, or if you're a level 1 and you go to level 50 area, either the things get scaled down to your level or you get scaled up. At least some of the way. Some games have hit this right on the head, other games not so much. In my opinion, this is great, especially if you can go and join the third alliance later and everything's scaled up and then be part of all three alliances. Um, you can level all the way from 1 to level 50 with your character, and that's about 140 to 150 hours of content. Once you get level 50, maybe you don't want to participate in the PvP endgame, or you're not interested in group dungeons, but really want to play more of the game. Um, Once you play through all of that, you can do it again through the remaining alliance, but everything is harder. We call it the 50 plus and 50 plus plus. So what I'm thinking is the first time you switch alliances, it goes 50 plus. The next time 50 plus plus. Basically, there are two additional tracks of content you can use for each character. Um, which is this is a good thing. There, excuse me. I would be one of the ones that, to me, I don't think 140 to 150 hours is accurate because, as many of you know, I am when it comes to online games and multi MMOs, I tend to tear up that content pretty quick. Um, in the first 2 weeks, when Guild Wars 2 released the beta, and then it had the 3 day head start, and 2 weeks from that head start, I started playing Guild Wars 2, and already had two characters max level and one completed storyline. So this 140 to 150 hours to a true MMOer and someone that wants to speed run it. I I don't speed run Elder Scroll games by any means. I love Skyrim. I go slow through it because I enjoy their storyline and stuff. Other games, I speedrun. I'm sorry. If I don't get into the story, I'm going to speedrun it. This one here, I think I'm going to take my time a little more on. But others, I think they'll probably be able to speedrun it in about 100 hours. Even though they say 140 to 150. Um, but I do like their idea of 50 plus and 50 plus plus. And I think I'll be participating in the dungeons and PvP content myself, along with going on to the other content, because I'm one of those that explores all. Let's see here. I want to check, see if there's any questions while I'm covering this.
I haven't seen any up yet.
Okay, so that's the Elder Scrolls. That's what they put out. 50 plus and 50 plus plus. Um, Now, for all you fanboys whose first girlfriend was Samus, I got some good news for you. Um, Nintendo Retro discusses the future of Metroid. Retro says that they would love to work on the Metroid series again, but is not currently doing so. Though many expected a move to HD would lure Retro back to the franchise that made it famous. Retro president Michael um, told the person doing the interview that his team it felt Donkey Kong Country needed more attention, which in my opinion he's not correct. Metroid is what he says. Um, well, we loved Metroid. We love Metroid Prime, and we always will. It was a big part of our studio. The culture of the studio, the majority of the team is still at Retro. Kelbrook said, "We will when we finished with DK, we still had a lot of really cool ideas. So I think they need to go to Metroid. That's my personal opinion. No, I thought I misread something, but no. They're sticking with the Donkey Kong Country, which to me is not. I mean, it's a smart move with Nintendo right now is to stick with family-oriented games. Granted, Metroid is family-oriented. Well, not really, but it's that space combat that we all seen back then that was great and stuff that we don't see anymore really, not that aspect of it anyways. It was the first space combat game that no, I can't say that because I like Doom and all those, but Metroid was a really great game, one of my favorites. I actually had all of them, and I think they need to go on to that. um However, being, I know I'm saying a lot because I'm doing so trying to speed through this so I don't sneeze while I'm talking. They are working on Donkey Kong, which is more family oriented, I guess I'm trying to say, than Metroid, which is smart for them because that's what Nintendo is focusing on, more family oriented games.
Um, a Sunny says these ADCs though, and that's all he said, what she said. You want to elaborate a little bit more on that, hon? And it's really sad, I think, that even though they're putting it up on different websites, that we're not going to talk about stuff that that guy did a walkthrough with that in that room he wasn't supposed to be, because there was some amazing games in there that I saw.
I mean, we ain't gonna talk about it, and that's to protect us.
Yeah,
Other
I know.
companies are like, we ain't gonna talk about it, and then they list all the games. And all that Sony has to do is say, hey, they listed our games that were in that room because of this guy. We're gonna find him more and close out or contact their company that listed on their website and find them too. Okay, so just got done talking about Metroid.
Have
Um, what's that?
did did you watch anything about The Witcher 3?
Yes, I watched a little bit about it. I'm not a Witcher fan, so when it got to that, I actually switched to one of the other channels because they were showing. I want to say they were showing either Arma 3 or DayZ, and those are games I'm really excited for and I really want to get.
I've never played Witcher 2, but that Witcher 3 did sound pretty interesting because it's an open world map now. and one of the main characters goes off to school, which is the Witcher um, School of Wolverines, and he is. I'm trying to read my very bad handwriting. His name is Scales, and he comes back as a beast slayer, clear-eyed killer with superhuman strength, which is unmatched with unmatched skills, strength matched skills. And I watched the video and watched some of the people talking about it. And I went and I did a little review of what I saw and I put it into my own words. And it's hopefully it'll be posted soon on our website if you guys want to go and check it out.
All right,
I bet
and
it would be a good game.
I mean, what I did see in Witcher 3, if I was a Witcher fan, I would definitely be interested in it. I really didn't get into Witcher series. I have played 1 and 2. I will probably play 3 just to give it a shot. But like I said, other games came on one of the other channels that I really wanted to watch, so I switched to that. However, I want to talk about indie dev has entire company stolen at E3, or stolen at E3. Why did I say stolen? Stolen at E3. Uh, Vlambeer has its entire studio equipment stolen at E3. Indie game developer Rami Ismail of Vlambeer, maker of Super Crate Box and Serious Sam the Random Encounter, is having a bad week. While attending the Sony Mixer at the hotel on Wednesday, his bag and its entire contents were stolen. And he says, pretty much my entire company was in that backpack. This comes just a few days after Giant Bomb had all of their filming equipment used for after hour shows stolen. And they say thievery at E3 is unfortunately pretty common. In 2004, Metal Gear Solid 3 demo code was stolen right off the stage. Um, they said that LA itself is a hotbed, blah blah blah. But I'm going to scroll down some to go over what was in his backpack. Inside his backpack was 2 Vitas containing the demo for Lufterus. Oh, I think I'm saying here. I'll just copy the name in chat, and that way you guys can all see the name and pronounce it how you want. Because I can't pronounce it for nothing. Um, but it, they had 2 Vitas that contained that, demos of that on it, an Asus laptop, 2 iPads, a Kindle, and a bunch of European to US converter outlets. He did file a police report, no leads, no witnesses. We and goes on, which even I agree. We as gamers should reach out and try to help these guys. If this is going to be a major setback for them because they are a small independent studio, if they go out and I'll be keeping my eyes out and letting you guys know if they put up like a Kickstarter to try to get back to where they were because they lost so much. I will let everyone know, and I, as a gaming community, I think we all agree it sucks when someone comes in and steals all your stuff. So I
Wow.
think we need to help these guys get back on track. They're an indie developer, so they're already going to be small. They don't have a budget for this stuff, and have all their stuff stolen, including the demos. It,
It's really wrong.
yeah,
And I wouldn't even want the big guys' stuff to be stolen, but to go out there and pick on the smaller guys that are trying to um, make affordable games for people. I mean, people are just I don't know what to say, and I better not say what I'm thinking. So it's wrong. And you're right. If they wind up with an Indigo where they're asking for donations or whatever, I would be more than willing to try and help them out.
Because, I mean, as a gaming community, we owe it to them. These are the guys that are trying to create games that we enjoy, trying to bring some of them back to life that have been dead for 15 years, and make them the way we want them, or we enjoy them, and make them cheaply. Especially that goes out to most indie developers. Um, those are the guys that I really like looking out for. In fact, I have a friend that's an indie developer, and I'm going to try to get him on because he made some money off of his game that he was selling. He actually had a free version of it, and then he had a donation version. And I forget how much he made off the donation version, but I'll try to get him on. We can talk about what it takes, how much money and stuff it takes to make one of these games. And some of these companies, like him, he was giving it either giving it away or doing it on donations. Um, but just to let you guys know that Arma 3 fans, you already seen the Arma 3 um, alpha come out on Steam that you could purchase the game, and it was significantly reduced in price, and you play the alpha, and you're able to play the betas too, and it's the actual game. You're buying the game way ahead of schedule while they're still working on it for a huge price difference than what it will be if you bought it out of a store or something when it actually comes out. Here's a heads up for you guys. If you're planning on buying it, like myself, you need to buy it before the 25th. 25th, they have announced June 25th will begin Arma 3 beta. They said the price on Steam and other places you can get it from will go up some, but it will not be the final price as if you were to go into a store and purchase it. It will be the final price for you if you buy it then, but if you were to wait until it actually releases and buy it, you'll be paying a lot more. So a lot of people I know, several of my friends have already purchased the alpha when it first went on Steam, and they've been having a blast with the game. I'm one, I like waiting until at least the beta. That way I ain't got to put with some of these bugs like they were seeing. Um, but that's just the way I am. However, I will be purchasing this game. Arma 3 is one of my favorites. Daisy, which now is going to be the Daisy standalone, is going to be another one that I'm going to be purchasing. But one thing I want to touch on with Arma 3, if you guys are not familiar with the Arma series, it is a first person shooter that's engine is made to be as accurate as possible when it comes to military war game style. The way you roll, the way you crouch, the way you jump, the way you go prone, the way you kneel, the way you shoot, the gun's accuracy, the gun's bullet speed, all this is based off of science that they and data that they've collected from using these guns, watching military um, tactics and training and stuff like that. And the world that they use, the maps and stuff, are based off of real places in the world. However, they also open it up for developers that are sitting at home or modders to come in there and create their own world, create their own mods, create that's how DayZ started was it was a mod for Arma 2. They also have what they call the Afghani War, and they have all these other ones, which is where people have mapped out different spots of the world or as close reenactments as they could, reenact battles that they've either read about or were in. There was a soldier that was in the Marine Corps that went to Afghanistan. He come back home, and I think it was his brother or his cousin was playing Arma 2 and was playing Daisy and stuff. And he went and decided, I'm gonna make a mod to reenact some of the to reenact Afghanistan where I was at, and he had like four of the cities that he was mainly in, where was the biggest ones for snipers and this thing and other thing, and put enemies in there that you could go against, or you could go into other players. And that's one thing I like is they have announced for Arma 3, instead of just red team, blue team. If you guys remember in the Arma 2, some of the DayZ mods and some of the what was the other mod they had? In some of the other mods they had blue team, red team, and then they also incorporated a green team, which was not actually a team. It was called Independence, where you could kill anyone on the red team, you can kill anyone on the blue team, and you can kill people on your own team because it was an actual team. You were like an independent person trying to survive. And they've done the same thing for Arma 3 now. And they've also opened it up for developers and everything. Once the game goes live, or even now, they said they had close to 1,000 mods that people that have purchased the alpha have already created for this game. I mean, that just boggles my mind because it's only ain't even been out a year yet in the alpha state, and people have already created over 1,000 mods for this game. And
Wow.
added, I mean, you can drive vehicles in this. You can fly planes, fly choppers, all that. Um, it's all in this game. It's great. Um, in my opinion, it is one of the best first-person shooter games that ever existed.
So, comparison to Battlefield 3, where you can already be flying the planes and driving the vehicles and stuff.
Oh, you can do that
How-
at the very beginning of Arma 3. You can do all that without mods or anything.
So, in comparison, would you give say it's about the same, or at least 10% better, or
See, this is where I don't want to. I mean, I want to give my opinion and say it's better, but at the same time, I don't want to get people's hopes up because my opinion may be different than theirs. They may think that getting a driver's seat of one of these first-person shooters is going to be like for what is it, Forza Motorsports, where you get in and you haul tail. No, in Arma series games, the driving is, I want to say, as realistic as possible because you get in a vehicle. Some vehicles go slower than others depending on what vehicle it is. Um, if some vehicles go faster in the mud and gravel than it does on the concrete, and others go faster on concrete than it does the mud and um, gravel. The helicopters, in my experience, are fairly difficult to master how to fly them. But I have seen people that have blown my mind at how well they can fly the helicopters and planes and stuff. Um, but I don't want to say if it's better or worse than Battlefield or Call of Duty because of the fact, as far as the driving aspect. And to me, the driving aspect, when you come to games like this that are striving to be as realistic as possible, you can't compare those to a game that, yeah, it has some realistic aspects, but they don't bother being as realistic as possible.
well, as long as I don't feel like I'm a tiny toy soldier in this green giant world, sounds like a game I might like.
Um, Tiny Soldier in Huge World, yeah, you'll feel like that. These are some of the largest maps you will ever see. And if you can't find a vehicle, you will be hoofing it.
I'm used to doing that anyhow. Now, does it have like RPGs that you would be able to lock onto the tanks or the
They
planes?
have they have sniper rifles in the game already that are anti-tank. They have mines in the thing that are anti-personnel and anti-vehicle. They have rockets that are the heat rockets. They got standard rockets that are just like RPGs, throw up and shoot in straight line or almost straight line. Um, it's got some of the best graphics I've ever seen in a game. I'll give it that. But it's got all sorts of weapons and tons and tons. It's all like realistic military issued weapons, along with if you play some of the mods like Daisy's mods, but Daisy's got a standalone this year, so it's a little bit different. Even though they worked with the Arma 3 guys to get the engine together and stuff. Um, some mods are bringing in weapons like you'd find on a farm, or they're still real weapons, but they're not like military grade issued or something like that. They're just random weapons you might find.
Now, seeing how you say that there's mods being made for it, is it a PC exclusive?
I don't know if it's PC exclusive. I know it's mainly for the PC, but I think. Let me look here. They have no plans for the PS4. I'm looking to see if no one knows if it'll be on the Xbox One or 360. Oh, wait, hold on. There is a light version of Arma 3 Alpha. It says now available. Um, if you pre-order Arma 3, then you already have access to Alpha version of this hardcore military simulation. Um, Looking to see because they haven't said whether or not it's going to be for anything other than the computer, but they could put it out on the other systems. I just think, as in my opinion, I don't think these systems yet can handle a game like Arma 3.
Honey, did the mic move?
Yeah.
Okay, because it got harder to hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. In my opinion, I don't think Arma 3 will be put on anything other than the PC because of how well. In fact, let me see if I can't find a teaser
It's
trailer for you.
hopefully you find whether it's compatible with my controllers or not.
It's compatible with 360 controllers.
Awesome. Now I may not be getting the Xbox One, but at least I still can be able to play games on the PC.
Here, I'm going to go ahead and play a video of it, and I'm going to have to mute my mic so that way you guys can hear it without an echo. But here is the Arma 3 sneak preview trailer.
Hello and welcome to a quick preview of our plans for Arma 3 this year. First and foremost, we're happy to announce the launch of our alpha, and we invite those willing to get involved to take part and help support Arma 3's ongoing development. All the details about getting access are found on our official website, but for now, we'd like to take a closer look at some of the content on offer. First off, let's take a look at what we call the sandbox content. These are the soldiers, vehicles, and everything else that makes up the game, and which can be set to purpose in the editor. We're starting with a quick rundown of one faction's infantry units. The alpha very much focuses on this aspect of the game, with the more powerful hardware like attack helicopters and armoured vehicles penciled in for our beta program later this year. More on that later. That's not to say there's no lethality in the alpha content though. you can find a small subset of vehicles and aircraft that complement the infantry gameplay, help in navigating bigger distances, and pack a bit of a punch themselves. Moving on to some of our playable content, our showcase are designed to be simple examples of the potential gameplay offered by the sandbox assets. They also take place across various parts of Stratus. This is our smaller island and represents around 15% of Arma 3's terrain.
And it is huge.
We hope that they help you explore the island and give you a sense of the different kinds of locations, conditions, and times of day. The infantry showcase is a simple assault through a valley and is a benchmark of our vision of basic infantry combat in Arma 3.
Damn it, Jackson's down! Doc, check on him. The rest of you covering fire! Hostiles! Carey, Lacey, attack that rifleman. Target that machine gunner. Machine gunner, 200 meters west. Target that machine gunner. Papa Bear, this is Alpha. We've got casualties. Stand by for updates. Concentrate your fire down the valley!
Diving is a brand new feature for Arma 3, and we're certain there's going to be a lot more work involved in polishing it up. To that end, Showcase Scuba delivers a quick underwater infiltration mission. Our vehicle showcase starts off in classic style with a Steal the Car mission. Our helicopter showcase gives you a direct sense of the scale of the island, and tasks you to respond to an enemy attack on one of your facilities. So that's a very quick look at what's on offer. To put it into context, let's briefly look at our roadmap for the next few months. Following our alpha launch, we plan to support it with simple content updates and fixes. The alpha comes to an end with the launch of our beta program, which we hope to make public in the summer. After that, we shift our focus towards release, currently penciled in for Q3 of this year. So thanks for joining us for this preview of the Arma 3 alpha. If you're interested in being part of it, please head over to our website for all the details. But be advised, this is not final software. The build may contain errors, lack certain features, and not represent final quality. If you'd prefer to wait until later stages of our development, please keep track of our progress via our social channels, web, and official forums. Bye for now.
Now, do you have that website handy?
It's right, well, it was just showing it, arma3.com. And to be honest, all that video footage I just showed you was pre-alpha, and alpha's been going on for 3 months now at least. So they've made a lot of changes. I will give it that.
I'm going to post the link for people if they want to go check it out. Excuse me. I want to go check it out.
I want to get in on the alpha, but I ain't had the money for it.
Now, how much is it?
I could just check Steam store, and let's go store.
No, on the website it says 50% off all games.
It's for the alpha is $32.99.
That's not really all that bad, I don't think, for a brand new game out.
That's what I'm saying. If you buy it now, it's gonna be $32.99. If you wait until the 25th, it'll probably jump up to $42, and then if you wait until it goes to release, it'll probably be $59.99. That's just guessing. All I know is they said when the alpha released, it was just going to be a fraction of the cost of the game when it goes live. But if you buy it now, it's just like purchasing the game, just a lot cheaper. And the beta is going to be a little more expensive than the alpha, but it's still going to be the whole game. You're just paying a little bit more. And if you wait until the game goes to store shelves, it's going to be a lot more. So I will definitely be getting my hands on it.
Now, is there a release date yet on it?
No.
Or is that still TBA?
No release yet. There's the video I just showed you guys. But here's some screenshots. And if you guys want to see the live gameplay of the alpha, I have some friends that have it, that stream it all the time. And I'll hook you up with the information for them to go watch them play it some. But the graphics on it are truly amazing in my opinion, compared to so many of the other games we see.
Now, I did like the fact when he was underneath water, it actually sounds like...
You're underwater?
Yeah.
I like the fact that when he's swimming up, he's actually holding the gun against his chest, and you can see how he's trying to swim up while he's holding the gun.
I did like the sound effects, because when he came out of water, you could actually hear the helicopter. And it sounded like one that would be flying over my house.
Yeah, and it's, in my opinion, I've been around Chinooks, I've been around Hueys, I've been around Blackhawks, all that stuff, and Seahawks even, and I used to be able to tell the difference just right off the bat. And in this game, I can still get that feeling of telling difference. I can tell the difference on what gun's being shot at me. I can tell the difference in about how far away they are. I can judge all that by playing this game. And I used to do that in Iraq, be like, oh, that's an AK, and then they're about this far away, this a couple hundred meters, whatnot. It's the same in this game. Even in Arma 2, I was able to pull it off.
It sounds kind of scary, realistic type then.
Oh, it is, and you would love Arma 2 for DayZ, because it's a zombie apocalypse type game. In fact, I'll probably stream that later on. I don't have it installed right now, so...
Just curious, who told you that I was a zombie freakazoid?
You did, 50 million times.
Oh. Yeah, I love zombies. And the day they stop making games with zombies is the day I'm going to stop playing.
And which is why I think our logo should include zombies.
It should.
And if we can get hooked up with some people out there, wink wink, nudge nudge, some of the clan team channel merchandise should have zombies on it as well.
You like blues and me, old lady.
Alright, so I'm going to get into a game, Black Ops. Is there anything you guys want to discuss about E3?
Hey, I just have a question completely off the subject. What happened to Nightbot?
What happened to what?
Nightbot, he's not there anymore.
Nightbot?
Yes. He went offline.
Nightbot, no, Nightbot's there. He's just for some reason no longer a mod. There he is. Now he should be a moderator.
Okay. I didn't see him on my end.
It's just something that happens occasionally.
Ah. Now, what do you think about what GameSpot is saying about PlayStation winning the battle more or less. Well, not the battle completely won, but they're doing so much better than the the Xbox One. God, it's so hard not to call it a 360.
I know. Um, I know as much as everyone, as most other people know. I ain't gonna say everyone because some people got backside information and stuff like that. From what I've seen, and I've been looking at polls of people that are actually at the E3 conference. I've been looking at polls that are on um, different gaming websites that have people voting on which one do you think the best is. And some of them I actually participate in and say PC. And the ones that I really focus on, I don't watch all polls. People ask me all the time, well, why do you watch some polls and not others? I like going to the ones to where when I hit I like this, and then I automatically try to either refresh or go back and try to vote again. And if it says sorry you can't vote again, your IP has already been used, I will watch that poll versus one that will let me vote again, because to me that's more accurate. It may not cover as many people as some of the other polls, but I know that there ain't people there going vote again, vote again, vote again, vote again, jack that up 300-400 votes. Um,
That seems kind of cheating.
yeah, but the one that I've been seeing voted on the most is definitely um, PlayStation 4 has been winning on all the polls that I've seen. And it's
Well,
scary because, in fact, like I shared with you that poll, I think it was this morning or last night, PlayStation 4's got like, what it was, almost 80 something percent of the votes. Microsoft has gotten 10%, and the Wii U's gotten 6%. And it's like, whoa, Microsoft's almost behind the Nintendo Wii U. What the heck just happened?
well, according to the reporter here on GameSpot, Eddie Makuch, he's the news editor, that it's clear that Sony is emerging from the E3 on a stronger footing, contra- contrasting the PS4 against the more pricey Xbox One. And Sebastian pointed out that the PS4 is currently outselling the Xbox One on Amazon and at GameStop, but said if Sony wants to maintain its edge, it must engage games proactivity with the new software announcements.
And I agree with that 100%. They do need to go ahead and say, hey, look, we got these new games. Instead of keeping them in the back room, hidden away from everyone, like they've been doing.
Yeah, I think if they actually rebuild those games that that guy did that walkthrough, I'll claim it as accidental walkthrough. um, I think Sony would most definitely sales would come up even higher, and people would be even more excited about the PS4 than what they are right now.
Yes, I would definitely agree with you because of the fact that the, like I said, there was 10 games that they actually went through and shown us even just like 5-10 minutes of it and asked questions about them and stuff that I was all excited for because they were exclusives. But then they also showed um, the game wall behind them, which was a bunch of other games that they didn't really show the games. They just scanned through all the PlayStation 4s with the games there. And I was like, okay, that is cool.
Now, was a die-hard 360 fan.
Yeah.
I mean, 360 could not go wrong. But after seeing those exclusive, nobody's supposed to be peeking at games, I'm thinking about going and pre-ordering me a PS4.
And that's what's really scary right now is so many people are saying that. And it's like I was telling you earlier, my brother has been one of the hugest Xbox fans. Since Xbox's very first day, he's loved Xbox more than anything, including his wife, and I would even go as far as saying sometimes I think he loves it more than his kids. But I was telling him about what Sony has come out with versus Microsoft and some of the different things that Microsoft is putting out there, and I'm like, dude, you gotta check this out. And he's like, no, no, they haven't. That can't be true. This can't be true. And then to, today, he was telling some mutual friends of ours and even my dad that I can't. He's like, I can't admit it to him that he was right. I'm gonna have to go with PlayStation this time. So, I mean, and he is one that would. He's an Xbox fanboy to say the least.
I still remember the very first day that my son put an Xbox controller in my hand and we sat down to play Halo, the original. I was like, I fell in love with it. Now, if Sonny came out with a controller that was bigger and fit into my hands better, that I would be completely sold 100%, I believe. Now, according to the top 10 games is State of Decay, Marvel Heroes, Animal Crossing New Leaf, Fallen Enchantress, Gunpoint, Tekken Revelation, Dust 514, Rios, Seven Grand Steps, and Remember Me comes in 10.
And what is that for?
Top 10 games according to GameSpot.
And to be honest, I'd have to put Remember Me up there a little higher. But then again, I played it on the computer, and a lot of them, when they're playing those games, play them on different consoles. And if to me, when it comes to rating games, I actually have to play all of them on, especially if I'm rating them to be like, oh, which one's first, second, third, 10th, whatnot. I have to play them all on the same system. Otherwise, I can't do that. And to me, GameSpot and other places like that seem to go, okay, these games are on these different systems. I'm going to rate them all top 1 to 10. You ain't got the same controls. You ain't got same graphics cards, CPUs, all that stuff. So it does make a big difference, in my opinion.
Well, just sitting here and watching you play the complete run of Remember Me, I would most definitely have to put it higher than what it's at. And me playing State of Decay and then putting it at number 1, I don't know what the hey they're talking about.
And I watched a couple of different streamers play it, and I'm in the same boat you are. What the heck are these guys smoking, putting it in number 1 spot? Then again, it's preference. It's not like they are sitting there with scientific data and breaking down each individual. It's a preference call, and I think whoever did that review needs to get their eyes checked.
They do. I mean, some of the graphics are fine in the game, but when we had Sonya on, the way she was talking and the way the game trailers were looking, it did look like it should be up there on number 10. But after spending my $20 on buying it the day it came out, I have to say I would probably have put it at a 6 myself on the rating chart. Because you're supposed to be able to have these followers following you once you've made friends with them and on the good sides. I haven't been able to get anybody to follow me. All I can do is from one person to the other person. And I've yet been able to find where I go to build things, to replenish my, well, not replenish, fix my equipment, like my broken guns or whatever. There's supposed to be places I found like where I could take the people that are in the church in the beginning to put them into a new house, but I can't find any materials to build and make it a better living spot for them to move them into.
I mean, I don't see. I mean, that game there. I've seen a bunch of errors with that people were having with it, or issues, I guess you'd say, bugs in the game. And remember me, I didn't come across any bugs when I was playing it. When I was watching other people play it, no, I take that back. There was one bug, and I think it was because I was in the middle of a one of those brain memory memorize instances when you go step on the thing and it walks and shows you where to go. And I shut it off the game there thinking it might save there, and I went back and it wouldn't play for me, so I actually had to step back a little ways, go to the previous one, and then it worked fine. So I think it was an error on my part more than it was the system.
Well, people complain about Black Ops zombies where, a zombie can reach through the wall and get you sometimes. But on State of Decay, they're getting stuck into walls and getting you. They're walking through things and getting you.
Yeah.
It's extremely irritating.
And that's what someone was showing. They had a group of zombies after them, or a group of something after them, and they ran into a building, and it was like, what the heck just happened? Because everything walked right through the wall and got him. They're like, this ain't supposed to happen. And I suck at this game. I don't know. It's me not having ballistic knives. That's all it is. I suck without them.
I love you, but when it's time for you to prestige again, make sure you buy them this time.
I'm gonna make sure I never prestige again. I lost my knives because I prestiged.
Prestige is the funnest part of the game. You just killed your teammate.
Yeah, I know, because he ran up there while I was aiming at a guy with a red name, and he stepped in front of my bullets. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, it looked more on purpose. Just saying.
Ouch. Someone behind me. And I ain't killing anyone. This is my typical game. I never kill anyone.
Now, when they were showing off the PS4 controllers versus the 360, the Xbox One.
It's not the Xbox One. It's the new. I'm not gonna call it the Xbox One. I'm gonna call it the new Xbox, because to me, Xbox One was the first Xbox.
Yeah, I do have to agree. But in my personal opinion, like I said before, they have to make that PS4 controller a little bit more comfortable and dynamic for your hands, more realistic. Although I don't know the name of it, but that little pad that they have on the beginning of it that interacts with the the game itself was pretty cool. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the I want to say the screen that's on it.
I did like that one a lot.
Dang, I can camp here the whole time. Oh, maybe not.
Hey, Lady V's here.
What's that?
I said Lady V's in the chat room.
Hey, Lady V, how you doing? How you doing?
Now, if we have any new viewers, I just want to make sure that y'all know that once we hit 100, Mr. Moneybags, that's on the screen,
I ain't
has
money bags.
yeah, who does the most giveaways?
I just prepare to do giveaways. That's all there is.
I got to figure out how to add more things to my budget for giveaways. But he has an amazing gift giveaway, which I have seen it, but I'm not allowed to say.
I have several things to give away, and what I'm going to give away when, I don't know. It's just going to be random. Um, I'm going to be giving away 3 copies of Skyrim. I'm going to be giving away a copy of the Tomb Raider collection. I'm going to be giving away a copy of Sanctum collection. Be giving away a couple other things too. And I have all these. I got Dota 2 and all this stuff in my Steam inventory. All these games I'll be giving away are going to be Steam based games, so it's computer only, I guess you can say. Unless you get the Steam box, then you'll be able to play it on your computer or on your TV. Which
But
we ain't
still,
touched on much on, but then again, they really haven't showed it. It's like all these big name companies go to E3 to, or big name game news companies to check out these things, and then they don't even talk about the Steam box, which is, I won't say a big name that's coming to out this year, but it's one of the more anticipated ones. And they had a booth there, so I don't know why they didn't talk about it.
well, hopefully when either Recon or Baby Pancakes come back on Saturday, my bad. Hopefully one of them stopped by and looked at
Yeah, because I know I asked both of them
it.
to find more information about it, because I really want more information about the game. So, does anyone have any questions about E3 that we might be able to help you with, or have you all been glued to the screens like we have to find out the information for you?
Well, I want to give a few shout outs. First of all, I got a shout out to Lady V, Lady Venom's Lair. Go check out her page. She's been one of my biggest supporters since the beginning. Love you, lady. And thank you. Um, there's another new one, and when I find that page's name, I am just going to post it for the simple fact, yeah, I mess up people's names, and
She,
probably not a good thing.
she's getting old, you have to excuse her.
Thank you.
I want to give a shout out to Game World Entertainment Network, Gamers Giving Back, and Mario Marathon.
Um, okay, he didn't share like he said he was going to. Elite Skilled Gamers, PS3 Elite Gamers, Mario's Love Child, Gamer Chicks Are Us, Han Solo Cup. I fucking love video games.
I do too.
Liquor Girls and fucking video games. I cannot forget Gwen.
I already gave them a shout out, so you're good.
Oh, and Gamers Get Back.
Yep.
Beat me to it. Yeah, you. Honorable Assassin Killers, Team Rage Clan page, Team Rage Anime page, Geeking It Out, Bugsy Smith, Gaming, Elite Gamers, Nerd's House, Shimmer, Shade, and the American Geek. Go check out those pages. Especially the ones that aren't mine, they're really cool. Well, mine is cool too. I didn't mean to say that mine wasn't, but
Sure.
and also check out a new website, gamingasyusual.com.
And make sure if you are on our website, right below the video player, down there is the Gamer Fan Shop button, link, tab, thingamajig. Go ahead and click that and check out the game specials that we have put up there for you. 5 to 50% off on numerous PC games, including Xbox time and codes and points, I guess you could say, not codes, but points. Whenever you purchase from there, we get a percentage to then turn around and use for coupons, to like coupon codes for you guys, so you guys can save an additional 5 to 15% on games. So fun. You save 5 to 50% on a game through them, and then you save another 5 to 15%. So essentially, you could say, well, 5 to 60% through them, 5 to 15 through us. So essentially, you could save 75% off of a brand new game if they have it 50% off, and you get the coupon code from us. But the coupon codes we can only do depend on how much is in our allotment, I guess you can say. And because it is fairly new, we don't have much in our allotment until we sell some games. So the more games we get sold, the more discounts we can offer you guys.
I'm looking at it right now, and they got some good sales going on. I know we mentioned them last night, but it doesn't hurt to remind people. BioShock Infinity is $38.99. So, as Tyne said last night, if you were to buy it and we had enough money in there for the 5%, which we don't right now, that would bring it down to about $35 for you guys, which is a whole lot better than what the normal price is going right now. And the sale ends June 16th, so you only got 3 more days.
Yep. So yeah, we will actually, because what it does is it measures out per month how much is sold. Like, say, if this month we sell a few games, we'll have the money to give a few people discounts. But if we sell several games, we can give more people a discount. And then every month it adds up how many games we sold and gives us the amount that, hey, this is how much you've sold, this is how many discounts you can give. So help each other out, buy from us, and we can give you guys more discounts. I mean, I even get the games that I give away through there to try to give us more of a discount on future games to give you guys, or to give you guys discounts on games.
Now, did you happen to see the Super Mario parts?
Yes, that looked cool to me. And they've had them at the, I won't say E3, but I know they had them at PAX last year, and I just ran off the cliff. Um, they've had them at the events before that people get in them, get pictures taken and stuff like that, and they're always so cool, and they always update them to look like the most recent, oh, excuse me, most recent Mario Kart game.
I was watching the new Mario Brothers coming out.
Yeah, that's something I wanted to touch on too. Is um, what is it? The Super Smash Brothers. For those of you that don't know, the next Super Smash Brothers, you will have a new playable character in it. The Wii Fit Gal. Yes, you heard me right. The Wii Fit Gal will be in the upcoming Wii U or Wii Smash Brothers. Makes perfect sense, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be the old classic characters. If they did announce a new one, it was going to be one of the old classic characters that were so great. And no, it's the Wii U girl. It's like, really? You had to ruin another game? Way to go, Nintendo.
Excuse me. Um, but
However, her moves do look cool. I will admit that.
now, can't you customize them, the characters?
Not to the extent that I would do to get rid of her.
Okay. Now, GameSpot's best show winners are out for E3 2013, according to them, which is Battlefield 4, Banana 2, Destiny,
Bayonetta 2?
yes, Fantasia, Music Involved,
That looked cool.
Forza, Motorsport 5, Mario Kart 8, Rayman Legends, The Crew, The Division, The Witcher 3, Titanfall, and Watch Dogs.
Titanfall I can see. Watch Dogs I can somewhat see.
That was 12. I've never played The Witcher 3, any of the Witches, but I really did enjoy it because, like, you can ride on the boat crossing the sea because it's an open world, mainly on islands. And when you're in the sea, you have random stuff jumping out of the sea, like whales, mermaids. There's monsters that come out that you fight randomly, and I want to call it a gust. You make the area surrounding area around you blacken, and then the monster starts leaving, wicking its runes, and you have the choice to either go and fight it more or continue on your quest. And there's going to be like quest within quest.
That's a cool idea.
Now, unfortunately, I didn't see any of the Battlefield 4 gameplay. Did you?
I seen some. In fact, if you want to watch it, go to twitch.tv after our show. And Battlefield 4 has actually set up a um, live stream. So I thought that was cool. That they actually set up a live stream so that even after the thing, they're still gonna have some people play it that were in line for hours and hours. Battlefield, one thing I've always liked about them, and I forget what the company name is right now because I'm busy playing their competitor's game. Um, but they have always been the ones to say, we don't care what time the place is supposed to close. We have people in line that have been waiting to play this game. We're going to look out for them.
And that's pretty decent of them, looking out for the small guy. Now, if anybody has watched it and wanted to hear about something that we didn't bring up, if you look at it down below, there's a phone number that you can dial and come on live and talk to us about it.
Yep. You can come in our chat and talk to us and express your feelings about E3. Anything that we haven't covered in the past 3 days, well, we've been talking about, well, 4 days technically, we've been talking about E3. And get your thoughts and opinions out there. However, we do ask you try to keep it PG-13.
Now, I enjoyed it when Recon and Baby Pancakes were on the other day.
Now, there was something I was going to discuss. Oh, that's right. I was going to show this. Here you go, guys. This is just for all of you.
Are you going to have to leave that game or?
Probably, but I don't care. It'll kick me out eventually. This is for all you out there.
Peggy 12.
Breathe slowly as you hold this pose. Focus on holding your balance. Try to keep your center of balance within the yellow area. Great. Keep it up. Let's get fired up. 1, 2, 3. That's it. Feel the burn. Let's tone up those legs. Now let's try it together. Try to keep the balance.
So there you guys go. You've seen it. Let's get some feedback from you guys. What do you guys think about the Wii Fit Trainer coming to Super Smash Brothers? I think it's an attempt to pull in a market that they have, but that's different than the Smash Brothers market, which is, why the heck you trying to shoot me, dude? Different than I mean, it's more of a family market and been like, oh, well, this person's not on the Smash Brothers list, but they're on our Wii's and Wii U's, so let's go ahead and throw them in the game. That wasn't me.
What'd you do? Kill another teammate?
I shot one round at his little toe and killed him.
You are hate to your teammates. I swear. I don't never
I'm
want
gonna
to
save that clip just for that, because
actually, I want to play with you. I want to be on the opposite team. It's safer.
I know, right? Like, damn sure, excuse my language, I dang sure can't kill any enemies.
Archie says he totally agrees.
Hey, LT, ain't seen you around, so. Not tonight. Usually you're talkative. Tonight you're like being quiet one. Ah, got stuck up on.
Okay, when they get that close to me, I get mad that they shoot me instead of stabbing me.
Not me. I get mad because I can't freaking hear their footsteps because I got the game volume turned way the freak down.
But we love you.
Sure.
I have not played COD in so long. Lady and I need to get on and play a little.
I'm just wasting my ammo. Why not?
You have nothing better to do.
Oh,
Oh.
I've died. Somehow I went up to 6 kills that time. Just by standing up here, shooting clear through to the other side. La di di, la di di di. I just got a double kill. All I'm doing is unloading my freaking gun all the way across the map. Not even aiming, just unloading. Walking back and forth. Oh.
Actually, the one thing I didn't see or hear a lot of during all of this E3 was the Call of Duty Ghost.
Yeah, it's because no one wants to hear about it. Or talk about it. And those that were talking about it were pretty much saying the same thing over and over again, which is, oh my god, I can see hair now. And oh my god, I can see dirt under fingernails now. And it's like, really? That's what your big change is?
I thought the release date was supposed to be 10/13, and now it's saying 11/05.
Yeah, something like that. I just got killed by a teammate. Go figure.
They probably got mad at you for killing them like 20,000 times.
I ain't killed any teammates 20,000 times.
Dang close.
I ain't killed no one 20,000 times. Enemy or teammate. How does he shoot me through the dang wall as soon as I spawn?
Now, have you seen any of the footage of the Evil Within?
Yes, and that does look pretty good.
Apparently, the monsters in it never take the same path twice to keep you on your feet.
Yeah, I heard that too, and that's one thing I liked about a couple of different games they were talking about, and it was in PS4 games and in Microsoft Xbox. It is the fact that since they're both uploading to cloud now, is you play the game and it's a multiplayer game, whether it be first-person shooter, racing. It was in several of them that they upload your data to their cloud system, and then it puts it into the game as they all steered away from the AI term, but that's pretty much what it is an AI. They use your data to control an NPC in the game. So it's a completely new experience every single time, and it's not just like, hey, you can play against your friends that way, but you don't have to. You can play against just complete random strangers that have already played the game, and every time it's a random set of people you're playing against that are in there, and it's some of them are based. Some of the games we're talking about, it's like your skill levels at a certain point. That's who you're gonna play against, people with the same skill level. Others we're talking about, it's gonna be a mix of skill levels. So that way, in fact, the Forza Motorsports was talking about it. Their drivers, they're gonna put you in. It's gonna be a mix of skill levels. All the different cars are, and you're gonna be racing against these AI cars or NPC cars, but each one's gonna be previous raced cars from players, and those players' moves are gonna be, or the cars' moves are gonna be matching that of the players, or it's gonna be like, say you race that track 8 times, it's gonna take all 8 times you raced it and combined it and give you a general idea, an average of how you race that map. If you spin out in a certain spot, if you turn a little too tight in a spot, that car that's driving as you now drives that way. And so it is going to be a completely different match every time you go to race. And they're talking about that being the same as in first person shooter. What was the other game? In some of the fighting games, they said it's going to be in. So it's really good that, in my opinion, that they're adding these things, because that is one thing that I think should have been around ages ago.
What it also says that some of the monsters pretend to die. Excuse me. Just so they can get you.
Yeah, because that's like, and that's something that games have been doing for years now, but it wasn't popular. It was just certain games, like in Guild Wars One. If you got to um, Nightfall, if you got the Nightfall expansion, or you just bought Guild Wars Nightfall, there were insect creatures on there that when you killed them, there was a certain roll the die chance that they would come back to life and fight you again. It wasn't always, oh, they're dead, oh, walk away, ooh, they're alive again. No, it was a roll the dice chance. And I forget the actual average percentage chance, but
Well, this isn't a per chance. This is them just acting it out.
yeah,
And they can also set traps. They have the ability to set traps for the players, and a wrong move could see you taken down in one shot.
that would be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, AI has been proven to be smarter than us in so many different ways that I think the gaming industry as a whole has dumbed it down too much in the past couple of years. Uh, Even from the beginning, it's been dumbed down, but it's not the fact that the AI has been dumbed down, it's we haven't learned to control it to the point to give it full intelligence to outthink us, outmaneuver us, and stuff like that yet. Which I do believe this moment we give it the ability to think on its own, to outthink us and stuff like that, we will, we as gamers will start improving a lot more, because now we got to try to outthink these AIs. who are thinking at a lot higher rate than we are. But then again, someone like me will get lucky every time because I don't think, I just act.
One of the comments underneath the anyhow, I can't think of what it's underneath the news feed. It's kind of funny. It says, find it funny that it's in the Sunny booth, but the gameplay is from Xbox, considering it says button A when he has to grab the keys.
It may not be from Xbox, it may be from the computer. Now, I want to cover PlayStation 4, and it will be region free. We've talked about this last night a little bit, and what this means, and this is. Excuse my yawning, I haven't had much caffeine today. Um, this is what it means straight from Shuhei Yoshida, president of Sony Worldwide Studios. So this is straight out of his mouth. This news means games bought in it or imported from any region will play on the PlayStation 4 console. So you buy a game, if you're in Canada and you're on the web and you say, hey, look, this American store has this game I want cheap, buy it from there. Oh man, this Australian store has a PlayStation 4 game even cheaper, or is a different game that's cheaper than anywhere I found so far. Buy it from there. Yeah, you gotta pay a little more for shipping, but if it still costs less, buy it from there. And especially with games nowadays, or companies nowadays, sometimes you don't have to pay for shipping for $40, $50, or even $20 and up. Other places spend $100. Okay, I'll buy 2 games. You got $100. You don't pay no shipping. Um, you can still play the game. So it gives the consumer, which this is great news for us because it means we can shop for deals. We can own more games. Those of us like myself that have certain games that we've had for other systems, like Nintendo, for example, who bought games that were Korean only released or stuff like that. We had to mod our original systems in order to play them. We don't have to do that now. We can buy country specific releases and play on our system now. Which I think is great news.
Now, that's with, but you can't do that with a Xbox One. Am I correct?
No, you cannot do that with the Xbox One. Xbox One has region locked all of them to American, European. Um, there was a total of 6 districts they had, and or regions. Sorry, not districts. Regions that they had. It was 6 of them. I can't remember what they were now. So let's see here.
That's not right. I'm sorry. Because if somebody wins here, that means I'm going to have to try and find a store in the country that they're in.
Yep.
Which just isn't right. Good thing I've got friends in a couple of different countries, huh?
Correct.
So,
All right. So I'm trying to figure out right now how many. I'm looking around trying to see if they've got somewhere that shows the pre-purchase versus like the system pre-purchases, and no one has that I've found has a true actual number yet. but they all have said, and Amazon said that PlayStation 4 is outselling Xbox One. Um,
Now, I know the other night I was trying to bring up the fact about Planets versus Zombies, and I was told that I was saying things wrong when it was on Spike Channel.
mm-hmm.
But I just found an ad that EGM now has posted, and there is a Planets versus Zombie God in Warfare.
Yeah, it's a mod, I believe.
It's a 4-player co-op and 24-player competitive mods, all powered by Frostbite 3 engine. So now you can play with your friends or prove which of you is the better player. Planets vs. Zombies Garden Warfare will be released on the Xbox 360 and Xbox One first, but fans can expect for it to come to the PC as well.
All right, so that, yeah, I can see where that would come in, but here is a tidbit of information for you. Um, PlayStation 4 didn't go pre-purchase until 3 days ago, whereas Xbox One you could pre-purchase on Amazon for the past week. Um, and right now, as far as the sales go, PlayStation 4 is ahead of all of them. Um, the It doesn't give me a specific number or anything else. The PlayStation 3 is ahead of Xbox One even. So that's scary when a current gen console is ahead of the next gen.
Okay, Penguin has something, honey. I don't know if how we said it was. Anyhow, Penguin says, so wait, if I live in US, then move to England, my US games won't work?
Not necessarily, Penguin. The way region lock works is some games will work like that, yes. Other games, however, it's console region specific. What that means is this console is programmed. If you buy it in the States, it's programmed for the States. If you buy it in Europe, it's programmed for Europe. So that means if you were to buy the console here and then move to England, most of your games that you've purchased in the US will still work. However, games that you're purchasing in Europe won't work on this system. However, some games that you've purchased in the US because of their online connectivity and crap like that may not work.
Now, do you think there's a way for us to call Xbox and say, look, I moved out of that region into this one. Can you reprogram it? Or
I, I'll put it like this. For those of you that have been around the consoles as much as I have in the past, if you were to go to even your local shop, like I was saying, I used to have to mod consoles in order to play Korean released games because there were some games that were Korean only, especially the Super Nintendo had them. The original PlayStation had them. I even think Xbox had a couple. You could take them to these shops, and a lot of times it was your game shop, and it not the big name ones, but like the little mom and pop ones, and they usually knew how to mod it, or they could walk you through. It would void your warranty, but you could modify it to play other region games. However, with the new systems and having to be online, especially the Xbox One, saying that they are combating the modifying the system by it always being online, I doubt you'll be able to modify it as easily. I'm sure there's always loopholes and ways to get around it. But right now, what region lock means is the system, if it's a United States system, you cannot play European games on it at all. If it's a US system and you move to Europe, you can play, I would say the majority of your US games on it. Some probably won't be able to, but others you will. And and vice versa. It's region locked, and there's 6 regions. I don't know them all. America, Europe, and I think they call it the Americas because I think it's South America, United States, and Canada, and maybe Mexico's listed. There's Europe, and then there's let me see here. I want to double check this for you. Okay. Game console, Xbox One region lock. Microsoft Game Console will not work outside of 21 launch countries. And so it's a lot more than 6 like they originally said for regions. According to Asian markets will have access to Xbox One in 2014, but at launch they won't. There'll be Australia, Austria, Belgium, Brazil, Canada, Denmark, Finland, France, Germany, Ireland, Italy, Mexico, Netherlands, New Zealand, Norway, Russia, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, United Kingdom, and United States. So those are each regions according to Xbox One. It says Xbox One games are for activation and distribution only in specified geographic regions. So the game may be allowed to be used in 1 or 2 regions, but usually it's like America and Canada, like I was saying, the Americas, America, Canada, South America, Mexico, and then the United Kingdom, of course, has got all those different countries. But right now, as it stands, and this is straight from Xbox support and Cativa and Robert Hallahan, yeah, that's it. Both of these, well, it's the same person, just 2 different tags of Xbox support have said this, that each of these are regions. So you got 21 different regions, which is insane to me. So if a Russian game company releases a game for Xbox One and make it a Russia exclusive, you can't play it. If that same company makes one for Xbox, PlayStation 4, and for, say, PC, and they make it a Russian release only, like Korea is real big into that on PC games right now. They release it for Koreans only, and there is ways to get around it, but they've started forcing you to put in what America's calls Social Security numbers. In Korea, they're Korean ID numbers, and that's how you get access into the early betas and stuff, is by having one. I have come across a few. So, but yeah, if you want into, or if you want to play these games, you can't play them on the Xbox One unless you have a system from that region. If you are PlayStation 4 fan, you can play these games no matter what region you're from.
Hmm. Did you see any of the Assassin's Creed Black Flag?
No, that was one I was looking for, but I got busy making lunch for the kids when they were starting to show that. So
I saw a little of it. It seemed pretty interesting. They have a multiplayer gameplay on it now. Some multiplayer footage from Assassin's Creed Black Flag has surfaced online showcasing the game Frantic mode, whatever. Frantic mode is basically a modified wanted mode which has been customized using the new Game Lab features. Game Lab allows players to customize over 200 aspects of the original game mods, changing things such as abilities, available, forcing players to use certain weapons, and much more. Ubisoft is showcasing three multiplayer mod modes at E3 this week.
well, I just come across a very good news story I want to share with everyone out there, and I hope I got enough time to cover this and the next news story that I found on the same site, International Business Times, and the story is done by Thomas Hellick. This is news that I hadn't heard until I just come across it, and they've got everything on the site for you guys if you want to double check and everything else. Xbox One users, if you guys remember the Red Ring of Death for the 360, the reason it got fixed so quickly was not just because the consumers raised Cain, they filed a class action suit against Microsoft, and a lot of people that were involved in that class action lawsuit got new systems, reimbursement for games and time, and a bunch of other crap. Xbox One users must waive right to class action lawsuit against Microsoft.
What?
So if anything happens to your system when you first buy it, if it's got any bugs, glitches, or anything, and it's like a mass thing to where it's happening to all the systems, or like even I think they said like a 10% of the systems, and all those people want to get together and try to file a class action lawsuit, when you buy it, you waive the right to file any class action lawsuits against Microsoft if you're an Xbox One user. So that means even in the future, if some game is awful and they like show footage of CGA footage and say, "Oh, this is gameplay," and you buy the game, like so many of the games have in the past couple 6 months that have showed this footage, and then people have gone in, filed class action lawsuits, sued the company, got their money back, got a refund for the game. You won't be able to do that if you're an Xbox One user against Xbox One or against Microsoft. Um, it, Xbox or Microsoft is requiring Xbox One owners to waive their legal right to a class action against the company. According to a disclaimer on the company's website, those who buy the company's upcoming video game console, Xbox One, enter an agreement that any future legal proceedings against Microsoft is done on a case-by-case basis. The Xbox One pre-order disclaimer says the terms include binding arbitration with class action waiver to resolve disputes. That means that if the Xbox One has a widespread issue like the predecessor, Red Ring of Death, like I was just talking about, the affected owners will have to sue Microsoft individually rather than banding together in a class action. According to attorney Paul Herman, a consumer advocacy expert who has previously worked on class action suits against large corporations, um, binding arbitration helps companies like Microsoft avoid large claims should a legal situation arise where Xbox One consumers have to hire their own lawyers, pay for legal costs up front, and all that. So instead of doing like class action where one or two lawyers hold up for all these people, the lawyer's fees usually less for the consumer, and the consumer usually gets more out of the deal, the Microsoft is like, no, 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 we're making you hire your own lawyer if you have to do this. You have to pay for all the legal costs up front, all that. But it goes on to say class action, on the other hand, occurs when a group of people have the same problem with an entity such as Microsoft, and therefore entitled to the same compensation, legal representation on the consumer side in the class suit, called plaintiffs' lawyers, and are only paid if the suit is won. So these lawyers handle these cases and are only paid if the suit is won. So you don't actually have to pay any upfront costs to file a class action lawsuit or to go on with it until you've won your case. So this other way, you have to pay up front and have to get a lawyer, or yada yada yada. So Microsoft is making it where you can't do class action lawsuits.
Paxton says that's garbage, and I agree with him.
It is garbage, but I'll put the link here in a minute. Microsoft was hit with the class action lawsuit in 2008 over covering up possible Xbox 360 defects such as Red Ring of Death. And that was from an email. Keith Gable, the attorney who issued the original lawsuit, the case was resolved confidentially, and he is prohibited from discussing any further terms.
I don't understand. I mean, they think that just because I purchase it means that I'm agreeing to it. Don't they have to have that in writing?
It is in writing.
No, for me saying that I won't.
No. Once you purchase it, you're agreeing to it. Anything in the terms and conditions, once
I thought
you...
legally
Yes,
they have
it
to have
is.
my
Nope.
name in writing legally.
Nope. Once you purchase a product or install, that agreement up front, that when you purchase or go to install a game or anything like that, you got the user agreement. That's the same thing. It's a legal binding contract.
And they're just making giving people more reasons not to buy the Xbox One, and they're just digging themselves a deeper hole. My personal opinion.
It's more than an opinion. It's the truth. Here's the link for you guys if you guys want to check it out yourself. I know I'm running out of time, but I really wanted to get to Daisy, and
I thought we covered Daisy.
a little, but I found a new story.
3 minutes. Why?
I'm hurrying. I'm trying to find, because it showed the release date. Okay, Daisy will be released exclusively for the PC via Steam within a few months, though the hard release date is still unavailable. There is also information plans to release Daisy on the PS4 and Xbox One, though there is nothing concrete to report either way, front and time. Daisy standalone is way different than the mod. It goes on to explain that they're using their own engine this time. That was, even though it's pretty much the same engine, it was developed by the same people and stuff. The graphics are similar, but they're better. You got more buildings you can walk around in, more stuff you can find. It's more interactive environment, more vehicles. You can actually kick in doors and stuff now. A lot better UI, a lot better inventory, a lot better HUD display, a lot more body action, and the zombies' movement is a lot better, more realistic, I guess you can say.
In Penguin, if you're not the purchaser, it still would follow. You would still be installing it and agreeing to it once you hit the I accept button.
I think once you, because even when, I remember when I bought my son's Wii and I was setting it up, I had to hit the I agree like 30, 40 times to get through to actually start playing it and stuff. And I'm pretty sure that the Xbox One's gonna have the same thing.